Finally, a chance to rest. Oh, and who have we here? Another lost soul, perhaps? Hello, fellow traveller, and welcome to my little patch of paradise. Come now, don't be shy. It's quite safe here, wherever here is. I'm sure you have many questions. Where are we? What is this place? When is this place? Unfortunately, I don't really have any answers for you. I have been here many times, but have never quite figured out why that is so. Is it a dream? A parallel universe? Some trick of the mind to rationalize the unknown? Your guess is as good as mine, I'm afraid. So your next question must be, who am I? I had a name, a long time ago. I scarcely remember it though. I do recall feeling like it never really suited me. You may call me what everyone comes to call me, the Traveller. I find it a rather apt name. I have done much travelling in my time, and throughout time. Oh yes, I have seen things you would not believe. I have seen life's first steps onto land. I have seen creatures so large they defy belief. I have seen the world come so close to complete destruction that all one could do is despair. I have seen species rise to the very top only to be brought low in the end. I have witnessed evolution on the microscopic and the global scale. I have seen wonders and horrors where the only difference between the two is one's point of view. I have seen the beginning of this world, and I fear I may have seen the end. But that's enough about that. Perhaps you have a particular tale you'd like to hear. All I ask is that you tell me a tale of your own. I have exchanged many tales to countless people in this place, and I remember them all. So will you indulge me? Never mind. A storm is on its way, so I must take my leave. I'm afraid this is where we part ways. I do hope you remember this, however. Not everyone remembers these talks, but I most certainly remember them. Have a safe journey, fellow traveller, and may we one day meet again, as I have many more tales to tell, and you don't want to miss out. The Traveller. The unknown entity referred to by many as the Traveller is a mysterious, seldom encountered being or phenomenon that has apparently been interacting with human beings for centuries. We know not his origins, his identity, his true goals, or the exact extent of his abilities. In fact, we know barely anything about him, or it. Most first-hand accounts detail that interactions with the Traveller mostly happen when a person is dreaming, where they enter a forested or wooded area and talk with him. However, some encounters have happened when the person is completely conscious, though this only happens when the individual is alone and in very remote, wild locations, most commonly dense forests. There are hundreds of cases of people either dreaming or meeting the Traveller. Though each one is similar, they have small differences. Even the name Traveller is not always the name he uses, with other names he's provided including the Wanderer, the Storyteller, the Historian, the Speaker, and simply a friend. There are many other examples, such as those that forgot his name, calling him the Stranger, the Faceless Man. At least one person recorded saying, "that dude with the Indiana Jones hat," and more than one case of him being referred to as the Dragon. His appearance often changes as well, with him usually wearing attire that suits the time period. I say this as recorded sightings of the Traveller date back to as far as ancient Greece, with far more accurate examples of his appearance occurring from the 1800s up to today. Though he is always described as male, his build and height do vary, but the one constant is that no one remembers exact details of his face, with only a few examples of individuals who were able to gaze upon it describing it as shrouded by fog or obscured by a mask. Whenever anyone encounters the Traveller, they first enter the previously mentioned forest or woods, When they finally meet him, he will offer them a seat, often in a clearing or even around a campfire. Individuals will always sit, either out of curiosity or feeling compelled to do so. After introductions, he will tell them one of his tales. These tales are the most varied and important parts of the interactions, with them always being about prehistory, often told as if he were there, watching and remembering everything he saw. These stories are often short but descriptive, and once he is done telling his story, he will ask the person he is with to tell him one of theirs. Oddly, the people who meet the traveller rarely remember telling their story to the traveller, but he is always thankful that the visitor listened to him and spoke with him. After this, the traveller will often thank the person he has met and walk away, disappearing into the forest. This is usually the end of the interaction, with dreaming people waking up believing it was simply a dream, or those who encountered him while awake often don't think the situation to be odd. So who or what is the traveller? Many take his name and the fact that he talks exclusively about prehistory as an obvious sign that he is in fact a time traveller. Though this does explain how he may have seen so many prehistoric events, it doesn't explain how he infiltrates people's dreams and thoughts. Another theory is that traveller relates to space travel, and that he is in fact an alien, though there is no evidence for this whatsoever. Of course, the notion of mass hysteria is often brought up, similar in the vein of UFO abductions and Bigfoot sightings. But the traveller has been documented for centuries, and yet hardly anyone in the general public knows about him, which is why our organization exists, to document his incidents and find out his true motives. But seeing that there has never been a known example of violence, anger, or any negative intent on the traveller's part, one wonders if his motives, if he has any at all, are simply to tell his stories to those who are willing to listen. It is unknown if he chooses those he interacts with, or if it is by mere chance, or even if he controls where he goes, when he leaves, or when he returns to the strange forest. Would it even make a difference if he could or couldn't? For now, we know very little, and much is speculative, but interactions do appear to be increasing, and that may mean something. So, you have this report on the traveller. Do with this information what you will, and remember to be vigilant for his next appearance. And if you have any interaction with the traveller, do not hesitate to report it. Every interaction counts. Until next we meet, be safe, my friends, and have a good day.